If it's too crowded like this,
you can be trapped.
I can be trapped, right? And so also that means that if you come in, let's say you throw a punch and you come in, I don't have the ability to use my structure to defend that. But if I'm here, you go to push on it, look how relaxed that is. Yeah, right? You feel how very supple that is?
Flows.
Yeah, flows. What we're going to talk about tonight is the guard, okay? The Wing Chun Guard and the breakdown of it, okay? The Wing Chun Guard, we always, the guard is like this, right? It's always the guard, right? So let's break it down and, the physics of it or the design of it, right? It's actually a very, ingenious idea how they designed it, okay? So we know that Wing Chun is a centerline art, right? And so we strike down the center, all right? And where do we want our opponents to strike? Ideally.
In the center.
But okay, so imagine if I'm down the center, right? And then if there's a lot of traffic here, right? Think of the cars, right? So there's a lot of traffic here, and my opponent, what are they most likely going to do? They're going to come down the traffic? Hope you're enjoying the content. If you do, please like and subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated. Also, if you're looking for some custom designed Energy Wing Chun t-shirts, please click in the description below. Thank you again, and back to the video. Are they going to go around it?
Go around it.
They're going to go around it. Okay, so it's designed for that purpose, is that we force the opponent by putting our hands here, right, to go around, right? Because they don't like the traffic, so they're going to try to go around. And so the whole, right, so if I clog down the middle and you go around, who's faster? I should technically, from a physics standpoint, be much faster than you, right? I cover a lot less ground. Okay, so the guard is built to force your opponent to go around. Okay, that's why when you're in the guard, it sits all on that center line. See it? Right, all on the center line. See, it's all on my line? Okay. Now, that's one concept of the guard and why we put it on the line. It's not, right, if I go like this, what the opening is, right, I'm kind of guarding in between the center and the outside line, but my line is technically open because there's a gap between my hands, okay? So, by doing this, do you want to come, right? So if you throw some jabs, right? And I'm like this, you feel okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what if I do this? Do you want to throw jabs anymore?
No.
Not really.
You're blocking.
I'm already there. So if you want to hit me, how will you hit me? Around. Okay? So it's by design to move that. And that's what we want because we are center line based. So we want to go down your center. Right? So that's why we don't bob and weave. Right? Some people think that that's a bad thing. But I need to give you the bait, right? If I give you the bait and I force you to come around, then it's much easier as you come around. You want to hit here, right? So then I just have to defend. I have to be able to defend my box, right? The box is like here. So I force you to come at me from a circular perspective, and I can attack you. I don't need to bob and weave anymore. I don't need to be, right? If I bob and weave and you throw even a hook punch and I bob and weave. Now the problem is, how do I counter quickly, right? With structure, I can't. It's hard. I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm responding to you. Now, what you're doing is you're responding to my guard, which is you don't want to punch down the middle because it's there. We're too close right now, but hypothetically, right? So you're going to do what? You throw a jab down him and nothing. So I just have to. See, now I don't have to move my hand because I force you to go outside. It's almost like I'm cheating to some degree. Okay, so now. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So now we have to get the guard to the right proper distance. Okay, so some lineages, and like you do your Wing Chun guard. How did you do your guard? Okay. All right, so why did you do that?
But this is the way I was taught.
Why?
Because I'm imitating the instructor I see.
Okay, so but why? What did he tell you? Like, why do you do it that way? What's the advantage of, why is it not like this? Why is it not like this? Why is it whatever yours is? And I'm going to explain to you why it is the way I'm going to teach it to you, right? So, right? Does that make sense? So everything has to be why. If you don't know why, then if you're doing it just to mimic doesn't give you any deep knowledge like we were talking about, right? Okay. So, so if you think about it, so when we do Silam Tao, how far do we go out? So if I go from the side, how far do we go out? Tell me, my Tan Sao. Or even, if I go Fuk Sao, how far do I go out?
Maybe just short of an arm's length, because you don't want to fully extend out your arm.
Okay.
So you want it to have structure.
Okay.
You have to have a slight bend in your elbow.
Okay. All right. So when you do the Silam Tao, do you know when you stop? A slight bend, or is there another very much more decisive like point that you stop at?
Well, I don't want to extend my shoulder out beyond my center line, literally.
Okay.
Because I would be off balance and I would be overcommitted.
Okay.
And I would also leave myself open in the center.
Okay. All right. So you're saying shoulder not extended too far, pretty much. Okay. So I'll make it much more easier.
Okay.
You stop. So let's say we do Tan Sao and the Silam Tao, right? We stop. And this is what you're always going to use when you do Silam Tao. You stop. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. We stop right here. One fist away from the body. Okay. That's the answer. One fist away. So yours, as you're doing your Tan Sao and Silam Tao, you put your fist here, and that's what you always will want to stop at. Relax on and one fist away. Always. Okay. When you do your Fuk Sao, one fist away. Okay. That's when you stop. You don't go out here, or you don't go out here and then here. It's stop at the elbow, one fist away, Hyun Sao, come back. All right. And then when you come back, where do you stop? One fist away here. Okay, so always one fist away. So that's the marking points, all right? So now we're going to take those, right? If we teach it in Silam Tao, which we know is the most important form, right?
Yes.
So we have to use those, those measuring tools or markers and actual structure or in our guard, okay? So when we do our guard, now we should be one fist away. Okay, right? Does that make sense? Okay, all right. Your hand should not be straight like this. Should not be flat like this, like a tan. It should be slightly angled. All right. Why? Why do we want it angled and not say like this, like a tan sao? Right? Why like this versus like this?
Because I have more structure with a slight cant, because now I've got the ulna bone down here below.
Okay. So you're saying we don't have structure like this?
You do, but the structure is not, the hand is extended, but it doesn't have any of the bone structure supporting it. Whereas on a slight, you have more of the ulna supporting that hand. The flank here, there is no bone structure.
Well, so if you throw a punch, like a jam, 45-degree angle, right?
Sure.
Throw a punch, like a tan. There's no structure in the tan? Of course there is.
Sure.
Right. Okay, so good try. But the answer is because, remember, if we're going to fight, do I want to be able to have all my tools available?
Sure.
Right? Okay, so that's why if I'm here, if I need to Pak Sao, right? If I'm Tan Sao and I need to Pak Sao, I need to turn almost 180, maybe even more to get to that point. You see, it's slow, right? So what if I need to Pak Sao? Right? If I'm like this and I need to now Tan Sao, now again I have to turn it almost a long distance to stop. Right? So in Wing Chun, we want the shortest distance possible and have the most effectiveness and the ability to have as many tools as possible. Okay, so if I'm angled like this, I can half turn, Pak Sao. Half turn, Tan Sao. Right?
Okay.
Right? So that's already gives us more tools, right? Agreed? This is a lot less to go to Pak Sao. If I'm here, if I'm Pak Sao back to Tan Sao, look how long I have to turn. If I'm here, Pak, Tan. Okay, so that's one thing. And we have this structure now, right? So the other part is we have the Jam Sao out, and then we put our backhand, a relaxed Wu Sao, right? Back right about a third of the way from here to here. So it's not half, it's about a third. Okay, right about the elbow. All right? And the reason why we don't want it to be stiff, or even my Wu Sao to be stiff, is because, again, if you're too stiff, is it slower for you to move or faster? slower, right? Because you have to go from stiff to relaxed to then back to something with structure or like some kind of like, ability, like some kind of stiffness, not stiffness, springiness, right? Okay, so you don't want to go from stiff to relaxed back to stiff because that's too slow. Okay, all right. So now, so far makes sense, right? Okay, so now the way it's designed like this, right? One fist away. Why it's important is because it creates the maximum distance without affecting my ability to have structure, right? If I move my arm out, is this good structure? No, right? If it's too crowded like this,
You can be trapped.
I can be trapped, right? And so also that means that if you come in, let's say you throw a punch and you come in, I don't have the ability to use my structure to defend that. But if I'm here, you go to push on it, look how relaxed that is. Yeah, right? You feel how very supple that is?
Flows.
Yeah, flows, right? If I'm here, yeah, maybe if I'm good, I can do it, but that doesn't allow me the ability, that's the margin of error becomes very, very small. Does that make sense, right? Like I'm here further out. The problem I'm further out is that I don't have this, you might do it, but I don't have the ability now, like this is completely overextended. So it's harder for me to also respond. Okay. Because I don't have structure, right? So and even here, let's say you throw a punch at me and I want a Pak-Sao. Is this correct Pak-Sao? It's not. So this can no longer be a Pak-Sao hand because it's too extended. From here, the punch comes in, I can Pak. I haven't risked any of my structure. Mm-hmm. Now, if you start to penetrate into my structure, I can attack, mm-hmm. Right? Okay, so now, that's why it's here for one reason, right? Structure-wise. Now, the other part is distance, okay? So you put up like a boxing stance, right? So if I'm like this with you, that's pretty comfortable, right? We can hit each other, right? Right? So now if I'm like this, where would you want to stand? Where would you feel comfortable standing? This is my guard right now. It says, would you feel comfortable there?
No, I'd take a step back.
Okay, let's take a little step back. Okay, good. Okay, all right. So what if I'm here?
I'm really good right
You're
here.
good. Okay, but then here you're out of range, right? Don't you want to step in a little bit more?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sure?
Yeah, because you can step.
No. Let's say not going to step. So we're both stuck in mud. Okay? We'll take away the step. So you'll be there. Sure? But then if you jab, you can't even hit me.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe you want to step a little closer. Now you're more comfortable, right?
Right.
Okay? But don't move. Okay? Again, we're stuck in mud for now, just for hypotheticals. If I go like this is my guard, you feel comfortable like that? Not really, right? You're gonna want to like step back a little bit and then be stuck in mud. Maybe there. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about it. The problem with this is that I can't use this hand to Pak to do anything. So my only hand to defend is I have to pull this one, right? Because this one, how do I Tan-Sao? I have to go like this. How do I Pak-Sao? I have to go like this, right? So this hand is almost useless if I'm this extended. Okay. Now here you would be where? It's closer, right?
Right.
Okay. So come close. Are you comfortable here? Wherever I'm in, wherever you're comfortable. So you're comfortable there?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, but you can strike me.
Yeah, so maybe you want to go. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, so with this guard, you might feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
Right, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, using the correct guard that I just was showing you, so keep up your hands. Tell me if you feel comfortable there. Not so much, right? You feel like you want to step back just a little bit. So take whatever step you need. Okay, good. All right. So now, based on my guard, I've created max distance with max efficiency on my side. How so? One fist away. Okay. One fist away. A 45-degree angle guard, and a relaxed Wu-Sao. Right? So if you look at this, if you draw from the top of my head, like a half circle, the longest point, the furthest point from my body to that circle, or from here to my stomach, is right where my hand is. They're coming out really from my center. Okay, so that's what you want to be at, because as the punch, if you throw a punch, if it gets through it, then I can use it, right? Because I'm feeling, right, when that hits that point, I'm feeling it. Now, if you press in on it, I'll press in like towards me, then I can use elbow or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, but a lot of times that's exaggerated because you'll probably catch it in the front, right? Because the punch comes in, right? I might move, mm-hmm. Right? I might throw a punch again at me, so I might move. I'm not going to really let that. But that's why it's the last line of defense. It's not the first line of defense. It's not here. That's not meant to be the first line. It's meant to be here. You got to get past this. Once you get past this, back up. This means that they're both primary. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So here. And it creates the maximum distance while maintaining structure. Right? Because if I'm like this, where are you comfortable at?
Back here.
Like this, you're comfortable there? No, you'd be closer. We're on boxing range, right? We want to be boxing. Like I want to be here. You want to be there too,
Sure.
right? But you don't want to be like, so you're boxing, right? And I'm not going to be out here, right? This is what you were saying. There's no point. So I probably want to be here so we can both kind of land, right? Right? And so now if I'm here, use this kind of guard, you don't want to be there, right? At least for starting, right? So you'll want to back up. Now if I'm here, which I've seen some lineages do, what do you want to be? You don't want to be that far. That's kind of out of range, right? You want to be maybe around there. Now if I go to the correct guard and I'm here using every structure, you don't want to be there. You want to be here. Correct. So by doing these kind of things, this using maximum structure and efficiency, I'm starting to buy time. Right? From out there, if I'm this close and you want to be there, not throw a punch, but this, where would you be? Right there, right?
Yeah.
For you to hit me, I don't have as much reaction time, right? I can't see it as quick because you throw a punch, it's such short distance, it's harder for me to catch it, right? Now, the beauty of this one is that now you'll be further away. But the problem is I don't have all my weapons because I can't really use this for anything anymore. I can't punch you, it's already extended. I can't pox out, it's already expended, right? So, but it gives me distance, so exaggeration. Now when you throw the punch, do I have more time to see it because you're further away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we want, right? But we still need to have all our weapons in play. This one's no longer in play. So once I put it into the correct structure, now I buy the maximum amount of time that I can which will be shorter than the long one, but with the most tools available, weapons that I have, and the most structure. So this is where we want to be, slightly angled, like 45 degree in guard.
It's interesting.
Okay, so always. Okay, because now I have more time. Right? When you throw it from out there, can I see it a little bit quicker? I can see it a little bit quicker. Yeah, I can use it to defend. So then I can view. Right. So now step in. You step in and right. So then I can see how I can absorb because my structure is there. Everything is there. Right. So I'll exaggerate. See, I'm absorbing. You feel it?
Yeah.
So push. What does it feel like? What does it feel like? It's springy, right? I just take whatever you give me. Right. Is there pressure going back into you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let go. So there is pressure going back. It's just what kind of pressure? Feel it? This is no pressure. It's just pressure.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
Now you feel it, right? Okay, but this is what I had earlier. Well, because you didn't feel this.
Yeah.
So now you feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, so throw the punch again. Step in, go back. I'm in guard. You throw it. Okay. You feel the pressure?
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Well, it feels like it's still wanting to come forward.
Yeah, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Just enough to be like it's kind of there.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
there. It's there.
It's there. Okay, right. So that's because we're in structure. See, I'm still in elbow structure right here.
Yeah.
I can use that. Right. So as you start to push in more, you can start to see. Okay, now my elbow starts to get smaller. Now I can move it around. Okay, so the guard is jam style, one fist away, hands angled. Okay, one fist away, angled, fingers tucked. Good. Okay. Your Wu style, a relaxed one, kind of slightly pulled back, just very lightly, fingers tucked. Back right about the elbow, about a third of the way from your fingertip to your body, about a third of the way. Okay, all right.
Why? I can understand this, but why in this manner, this way? Why not further out? Why not further out? Because I'm closer to the opponent.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to use some Wing Chun now. I'm going to throw a chain punch. I throw a chain punch. Right. Okay. But you have to let me get to this. Okay. Because you want to ask this one. So don't block it. That's this one. Okay. So as I come in, if it's close, I can attack it.
Oh, good.
Do you see?
Nice. No,
If I'm here, you punch. Right. So it gets through, and it's so close, you can trap my hand down if you need to and come in. I want you to reach for it. Now reach for it. Do you see the difference? Now you punch in. How far you have to go?
Well, I have to step in.
Then step in. I want that. I want you to commit. Once you commit, I can strike. Right? If you go so deep, is it easy for you to grab my hands?
No,
Oh, see the power of the string?
but you find what you put.
Okay, if I put it here. Okay, go. Try again.
I'm going to do straight punch.
Okay.
Well, it's like this is a bridge for me. Do it.
Chop down. Chop down. It's so deep, you can't. You see the difference? All right, so watch. You do the guard. You do a short one. The short guard. Do the guard. Do a short. Okay? All right, so it's in the middle. So I go to punch, I chop down. See? If you're deep, I have to reach. Oh, I'm gonna get to the wusao, right? So the way the guard's designed is if I'm back here, you throw the punch in. Okay, look how deep that is. Okay?
Yeah.
I want this because remember, the wusao, so normally what will happen is I would block up front and attack, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay? But because say I'm really slow, you catch my that part, well then I can change. If you're too forward, I never have the ability. See, now you can already trap me. See that? Okay? So you don't want it too close because that's not, because first of all, how far should your wusao be? 1 fist away. We talked about it, right? Yeah. So I put it back here. How far is it away? About 1 fist away. See how everything from Silam Tao goes into other parts of the, right? If it's the most important form, Silam Tao, we all agree to that. That's what every single Wing Chun lineage will say. Now, different lineages will say different things after that. But if it's the most important thing, then why are we learning to do our wusao and stopping here? Because that's where the wusao sits. It's the last line of defense. It's not meant to be out here. It's meant to be here. It's the last line of defense. If something slips through my guard from the front, that's where the wusao lives and sits. It's the Great Wall of China, the last line of defense. Okay? So, and because you reach so deep, you're creating the right distance for me to attack, right? So, right. So if it gets that deep, right, then I can do stuff like that. Or if you go to, right, if you go to trap it, I can attack. Right? But out here, the problem is everything is, again, so that would be like, so your wusao's out this far, would be like your arm being like this. You see? Overextended. Right. This is overextended. There's no structure in your wusao out here. Do you see?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Right? So everything must be within structure. So as you throw the punch,